To this day, I still, at intermission, will go out and stand in the spot that I always did during the times that I was teaching under the watchful eyes of William D. Ravelli. When I was asked to think about memorable moments, some of them have nothing to do with music. I'll never forget the time that Itzhak Perlman came here, and he was going to give a solo recital, and he's ready to play. And his accompanist plays 4 notes of the introduction, and it began to do this. And the water pot fell over, and the flowers, and the water. And he kind of looked, and somebody came out and kind of straightened things up and kept the water from running out and over the edge of the stage. And now we're going to get ready to do it again, right? So yeah, we can settle. Same 4 notes. And you hear from the back of the room, I think someone needs to get up there very quickly because there's water running all over the floor. He puts his violin down, takes a big breath. Finally he says, I think the audience is going to know the introduction of this piece very well. Once again, played. So I remember that one. Another one that I remember is Yehudi Menuhin. Yehudi Menuhin came to Ann Arbor, and he brought his sister, Hepzibah, and she was his accompanist. And they were playing Mendelssohn. And he's got about 2 minutes to go at the end of a sonata or something, I think it was. And he's got 2 minutes to go, and he's playing away. Boom! His E string breaks on his violin, and it's dangling up there. So what does he do? He just shifts up to about 19th position on the A string, and he's playing along, and he's going to finish it to the end. And I'll never forget, his sister sensed that something was going on because she's hearing him do things that he normally doesn't do, and she looked over, she saw that string, I'm sure, dangling. She looked back and she's like, wait a minute, what's happening? I'll never forget that moment. That was a great moment. That was a great moment. But you could only get that if you were there. If you were there to see, to experience. You know, if people just play music and they just play the notes and they just or sing the notes or do whatever they do, and they do everything right, the intonation is right, the rhythm is right, all that stuff's right, they've got all that stuff together. If they bypass this, it's not music. That's the ingredient you have to have. You have to have that ingredient because you can play everything absolutely perfectly. It's got to have this. And I used to say to my students in my classes, oh, come on now, you can't do that because you're making it sound like heart bypass music. You can't bypass that heart. Play it. Emote. Energy. They knew what you meant, and they tried. So anyway, there you have it.